Welcome to Down the Road. I am in a 2016 Porsche GT3 RS, courtesy of my good friend Michael here. And I'm very fortunate to drive this car. I've driven it before. He's been nice enough to let me drive it, and he's nice enough to let me drive it again here. And this is the first episode, and I think it's an awesome car to do a review on. We're here in Arizona. We're in Bartlett Lake, which is a great driving road. Hopefully our audio comes through because this car screams. But yeah, this is Michael's car, and I'm going to do a quick little review on it. I want to hear what Michael has to say about it because he's owned this car for quite a little bit. Not too long, but yeah, tell me a little bit about why you bought this car, Michael, and what you like about it.
Yeah, so I've owned this car for about 10 months now. I was on the hunt for this car for quite a while. Finally found one in the state of New Jersey where my girlfriend and I were doing a vacation in New York. So thankfully I was able to hop over to New Jersey really quick, take a look at the car. It was everything that I wanted and had it shipped back here.
Yeah. It was certified, right?
Yep, so it's a certified pre-owned car, so I didn't have to worry about any kind of, unexpected maintenance in the car, which is really a huge selling point for me. Because although this car is reliable, it's, things can happen. And since it's such an expensive car,
Yeah.
It's a very expensive repair bill as well.
Yeah, this thing is sweet. So it's a 4-liter. It's a stroked out GT3. It's got 500 horsepower, 338 pound-feet of torque, just weighing in at about 3155 in terms of curb weight. This thing is light. It's kind of a big car, but the size shrinks around you, and it really is kind of confidence inspiring driving this car. Like I said, I've only driven, this is my second time ever driving this car, and it's very easy to drive. The one thing that sticks out to me the most on this car is the steering and the PDK. The steering, Porsche steering is like no other manufacturer in my opinion. The steering is just so direct. I mean, the second you turn this wheel, you feel it. You know exactly what the front wheels are doing. And then the PDK just backs that up with it shifting. So it just shifts so fast. And it's addicting to shift. I remember driving it for the first time and thinking those two things are my absolute favorite. Try not to get all these rocks going. What's your favorite part about the car?
I think it's just how well this car handles. I've owned a couple other sports cars in my lifetime so far, and I've driven this road many, many times, and it's just so confidence inspiring where you can be on the gas, in the corner, incredibly hard, and you just feel so planted, so secure. You just run out of driver skill so much faster than you do the capabilities of this car.
And I'm not trying to beat on it too hard. Again, this is my second time driving the car, but I mean, it just sounds fucking incredible.
And I mean, we're only at 4,000, 5,000
Yeah, I'm not
RPM.
screaming it yet.
So there is so much more bandwidth to this car.
If you guys are familiar with Arizona, that guy just gave us a thumbs up. That was cool. If you're familiar with Arizona, this is Bartlett Lake. This road is awesome. This is the road Michael and I frequent. We're big car guys. And this road, I mean, that guy gave us a thumbs up. He was in a 370Z, so a lot of enthusiasts drive this road. This is also the best part right here.
And the brakes on this car
Yeah.
are just incredible. I mean, you can be going 120 to a dead stop in mere seconds.
Wind this out here. Woo! That shift, dude. It's a screamer. And you scream while you're driving.
Oh, yeah.
This thing is a blast. Yeah, so Yeah, I'm speechless with this car usually. So we've caught some traffic, so we can talk a little bit more about the car and why you bought it. Like you said, you bought it in New Jersey. You were looking for a little bit, right?
Yeah, so I think some of the main components of what I was looking for in my next car was something that was unique, something that really kind of emphasized the kind of driving that I like to do, which is fast. I'm out for an hour or two, something that's really driver's focused. But at the same time, I wanted to find something that was a little bit more financially stable of a car. I think a lot of times when people talk about these cars, they talk about how great of an investment they are. You know, and I don't like to think of cars as investments because I want to keep cars accessible to everyone. But it is astonishing how, you know, this car new in 2016 was $220,000, and 10 years later almost, they're still selling for, you know, $180,000 and more. I mean, that depreciation on that car is just so minimal where you can drive it, you can enjoy it, and at the end of the day, when you're ready to sell it, you know, you don't lose your ass on the car, which is something that was super important to me.
It just kind of, the only downside is you got to spend some money in order to have your investment. I mean, that could be said true with a lot of things in life, but you know, this car is not a cheap car. But it, like you said, it does hold its value. I feel a lot of Porsches do, minus maybe the Macan.
Yeah, anything SUV related.
Yeah, Macan or Cayenne. But,
and the Panamera.
Yeah, so this car has 25,842 miles on the odometer. How many miles did you buy the car with?
So I bought it with 22,300. So I've put about 3,000 miles on it in 10 months.
Okay, that's not bad. Obviously, it's not your daily driver. But it is an awesome weekend car. Tell me how you use this car. What do you?
Yeah, I mean, purely it is a weekend car. I mean, I drive this car on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and you know, when I go to work my day job, it sits in the garage. So it's driven, but it's not driven as much as I think it probably should be, and I wish I had more time to drive it more often. But again, the more you drive it, the more this vehicle is going to cost you. So it's the fine line between enjoying the car, you know, within reason.
Yeah. And you've tracked this once or twice?
So I've brought this out to the track one time.
Okay.
So we have a track here called Apex, which is a members-only track, and I have a couple friends that are members of it, and they graciously brought me out for the day, and it was such a blast, and really the only way to truly experience this car how it was intended from the Porsche factory.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's why we're here on this amazing, beautiful road in between all these mountains. Unfortunately, we're plagued by a little bit of traffic, but we had some fun back there, and I'm sure on the way back we'll have some fun as well. But I can only imagine driving this thing on the track. How reliable has this car been for you in the 10 months you've owned it?
I have had zero issues with this car. I recently took it in for its annual oil change, which was $550 from Porsche North Scottsdale. But beyond
that's not terrible, I feel like.
No, I mean, I have a slew of motorcycles that I get serviced often, and an oil change for a motorcycle costs me about the same. So
interesting.
I mean, from a maintenance standpoint, it's not super expensive.
I'd expect it to be like $1,000 plus for an oil change.
That's what I kind of thought too, given the price of the vehicle. But really, it's just like servicing any other 911 Porsche that they have. So servicing this for an oil change versus their base model 911 is really the same. This just takes a tiny bit more oil.
I bet it drinks it, that's why. So your relationship to the brand, tell me about, like, this is your first Porsche, right? This is your first Porsche?
Yep, this is my first Porsche. So I came from a lineage of BMW M cars initially. So I had an E92 M3 and an F82 M4. And I think kind of what a lot of BMW owners do is they eventually move into Porsches once kind of life allows them to. And graciously, I was in a position where I was able to move into a Porsche. I could have started with a base 911 or a GTS or a GT3, but
You went balls to the wall.
Yeah, my buddy Zach at the time had a Huracan, and so I thought the only kind of comparable car to that would be an RS car. You know, and no regrets in kind of skipping all those steps, you know, of the Porsche lineage and going straight to the RS.
Yeah, you went right to the best. So you're fortunate for that, for sure. And I'm fortunate again. Thank you for letting me drive this. Yeah, so we were kind of talking earlier before this, you know, comparing this to our buddy had the Huracan. This car has way better visibility. I think it rides super well. It doesn't really beat you up. I mean, it is a race car. I mean, we've got a roll cage in here. We've got carbon buckets. It doesn't beat you up as much as I expected it to when first driving it.
Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, we're both younger guys, so I think our tolerance for a rough ride is a little bit higher. I'm sure if you're in your 60s or 70s and you're now just getting in an RS car, it's probably a bit jarring for you, and it probably wears on your body a little bit more. But overall, I think this car is dailyable if you wanted to, which I think is what Porsche is really known for and really good at, is creating a sports car that you could drive every single day if you really wanted to.
Yeah, that's probably one of my favorite things about Porsche. Would you say I mean, you mentioned you had an M3 and 2 M3s. Is this your favorite car out of all the cars you've had so far, or what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, of course, this has got to be the
the
best car I have driven so far. Probably the best car I will drive for quite some time. I mean, it's just a pinnacle automobile. And don't get me wrong, M cars are fantastic, and I think they're great values for the money. And I think, like, my F82 M4 was probably marginally just as fast as this car is, at least in a street environment, you know, and it's a quarter of the cost. So super great value. BMW does a great job providing that value, but to get this level of experience, it's hard to replicate.
Better than I do. And we've caught someone.
Short-lived.
Yep. So, final thoughts wrapping up on this video. The GT3 RS is an absolute missile of a car. It's an absolute race car, and it was a pleasure to drive. Michael, thank you so much for letting me drive it. I really appreciate it. And yeah, I mean, I am going to be sad that you're letting this thing go, that I can't get to drive it again, but maybe in the future I'll have my own, or I'll drive someone else's out there. So thank you guys for watching, and we'll catch you in the next video. Thanks.